Thank you, Almir. So, as Adriana and Yadin said this morning, we need to collaborate. So, this is a feasibility study of a collaborative 3D model of medical device non-critical spare part database. I'm a biomedical engineer currently working in Bordeaux Hospital in France, but a member also of the IFMBE, which is the French Biomedical Engineering Association. The IFMBE aims to develop the profession, but in different ways. One of them is supporting transversal projects and through the financing of resources such as internships. For this project, for example, I had an internship engineer, Mr. Bolz. But so far, every of us, we have the same equipment in the hospitals, so we have the same suppliers. So we do have the same annoying maintenance issues, and I guess every one of you knows what I'm talking about. It's about after-sales services that are not provided on all medical devices when the complete kits are sold when just a single spare part is needed. Also overpricing basic captive spare parts, shipping fees, border customs issues, but also limited storage capacity and long delivery delays. So 3D printing in the hospital is not new, but 3D printing for medical devices maintenance is almost new, still marginal and discrete for non-critical spare part. But the new idea here is the collaborative database of 3D models. So how far is it possible? Still collaboration is a vector of success. So the first step was the feasibility, which is today's topic. Feasibility is identifying the risk and design the projects regarding those risks. At this stage, the project is only a feasibility study for which we have projected far enough in the implementation to obtain relevant results. So we did a preliminary survey in France, about 27 answers to identify the real needs, and then we decided to focus on three main aspects. First one is 3D printing technologies and material. Second one is the web platform database structure and services. And the last one is legal and regulatory analysis. Every of these in order to make a functional collaborative scheme. But the main idea was to make it simple so people can collaborate. And then goes the implementation. So the first aspect is 3D printing. So we needed to give clinical engineers a synthetic vision of the technology that could meet their needs as part of biomedical maintenance. So we needed to simplify the choice of technology for them. 90% of non-critical spare parts are simple plastic parts actually. So they have just mechanical resistant needs, resistance to chemical agents, and a low price and ease of production. We did a small selection of materials regarding those physical properties in order to print. First material is PETG, glycolized polyethylene terephthalate, loaded with carbon fiber in order to have a great resistance. And the second one is polypropylene, regarding its resistance to chemical agents. Both of them have very low extrusion temperature and affordable prices, about 35 to 50 euros per kilo. And the most relevant technology for those needs is the fused deposition modeling. But using this technology, you need to really focus to avoid delamination. Delamination is a phenomena when you put the first layer and it already has cooled, then you put the second one and it doesn't stick to the first. So to avoid this, you need to have thermoregulated atmosphere for printing, and you got some printing system about under 10,000 euros with this specification. Also, the limit of the fused deposition modeling is the surface texture of the final product. You can get better surface texture results with stereolithography or SLC system, but less choice of materials and price higher, and more post-treatment of the printed object. So aspect 2. Before printing, feed the database. We had a look around to benchmark and realized that there were existing similar web platforms such as the one of Boulanger, Boulanger is one of the largest French suppliers of household appliances, and we just wanted to make the same kind of platform and adapt it to biomedical needs. But how to encourage users to feed the database? It's simple, just make it easy. The easier it is, the more users will participate. But so far, biomedical workshops are not computer-aided design experts. So we need to find a solution to avoid CAD. So to get 3D models without CAD skills, we can propose an online linking service of CAD professionals for 3D printing nearby, which already, it does exist already. Or you can develop an easy step-by-step scanning protocol based on the use of a standard CT scan, which almost every hospital has. So you get the DICOM file and you turn it into STL, which is the regular file format for 3D printing. This is some words about this protocol. The main idea was not having to retouch the CAD. And the objective was a precision with a tenth of a millimeter using only open sources softwares, so everyone can do it. These are some pictures of our test. On the left side, you got the original spare part, which I have in my pocket, actually. As you can see, it's a really small spare part. So we had the maximum constraint trying to get a scan and a good scan of it. So some failure we had, and then finally good results. This can be printed already. Then some word about the workflow. The main point was to manage the risk that a user uploads a 3D model of a spare part that is critical. So the criticality of every 3D model that is uploaded to the platform must be characterized and actually answering 8 questions. Those questions, I won't read them all. It's just a quick translation of the new European regulation on medical devices and spare parts adapted to this project. Answering those questions, you get a score from 1 to 10, and you got also elimination scores for implementing the database. This is an example of the work in progress for the web platform. On the left side, you can see this characterizing scheme for the database. On the right side is just some information that are needed to be provided for the database. Having an access to this database also implies having read and sign a user chart in which security rules are defined. Also, on the use of this platform, an online commenting system will be deployed. Commenting system that you can have, for example, in TripAdvisor or whatever, just evaluating the spare parts. Some words about regulatory and legal aspects. So we have identified 2 different fields to explore: regulation in the first time about medical device, but also legal aspects about 3D printing, such as intellectual property law, industrial property law. On the left side, you have an extract of the new CE regulations about spare parts. But so far, clinical engineers still are not lawyers, so IFMBE financed the services of a law firm specializing in the mentioned fields, which is Bignon-Lebray Company. And they did explore every loopholes, every regulatory aspects and legal aspects in the French context. And it was quite a huge work with a lot of reading, and I have this 46 long pages report about it, but I just can't read it today. The thing is, the main answer is it finally possible? And the answer is yes, but it is possible, at least in France, and in the first time for IFMBE members, and with some conditions. Ensure that the item does not affect safety and performance of the device. No commercial action using the web platform, because there is difference between economic value and commercial value of an information. Then characterize the non-criticality of the parts. and also no contractual prohibition of reverse engineering where you want to print it, and specific attention to spare parts constituting visible elements of the device, but also an empowering user chart giving a high level of information about legal aspects. Well, the key to the success of the project lies in the ergonomics of the exploitation of the database, because if there is no collaboration, the database will not grow. And it made me think about this French expression, plus on est de fous, plus on rit, which literally means the more fools we are, the more we laugh. So this project is currently led in France, but if the success is obtained, we could easily imagine spreading worldwide, and especially where equipment inventory is mainly obsolete and heterogeneous. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please send me an email.